genetic reigns supreme, no? Everyone these days will agree if I say that if you want to be a champion, you have to be born a champion. Everyone knows, for example, that people who are like from West Africa, no, origin from West Africa, and even people in Jamaica are from West Africa, no? If you are from West Africa, you probably run faster than anybody else. If you want to win the marathon, you probably have to be from Kenya, because people from Kenya are genetically gifted for endurance sport, and so forth and so on. If you are tall, you probably have higher chance to become a basketball champion, etc, etc. But most people don't understand that this genetic run supreme is not only about being a champion or not. No, genetic and DNA dictate everything, from your tolerance to certain food, macronutrients, micronutrients, and everything, really everything. Just to give you some example, let's speak about carbohydrates. Some people can tolerate far more carbohydrates than other people. They have a lot more enzyme to digest some carbohydrates. For example, people from Pakistan have a lot of enzymes to digest carbohydrates, and they can eat far more carbohydrates in their diet than, for example, people from Norway or Estonia or stuff like that, because people from North Europe have very little enzyme to digest those food. No? Why of that? Because of evolution, maybe. In Norway, especially in the past, there were like a lot of agriculture, because it's very cold, and yeah, not the best place to grow vegetables, fruit and other stuff. Instead, Pakistan is hotter, and especially in the Middle East to Far East region is historically place where agriculture was like abundant. I think agriculture was born there, no? With the two rivers in the mythology. By the way, there are other stuff like height and muscle mass that can dictate how many carbohydrates you can eat. For example, if you are tall and big, you can eat far more carbohydrates with less side effect than if you are short and small. No, for example, if you are tall 160 centimeters, I don't know in the imperial system how much it is, like 5 feet probably, something like that. No, if you are short, if you are this short, you weigh like 100 pounds. Well, you can eat far less carbohydrates. That you would be tall like 2 meters, and you weigh like 110 kilograms, because higher people have a better metabolism of carbohydrates. They're burn carbohydrates at such higher degree than short people, so you can eat more carbohydrates. So when I see on the web with, let's say, this is the best diet, no, that's not true. I mean, every one of us is different. There is not something that is best for everyone. There can be some general guideline, but it's not always the case. The general rule about carbohydrate is that you have to see your country or place of origin. No? Nearer the equator, more carbohydrates you can eat. Farther from equator, less carbohydrates you can eat, with some differences, but this is like a general rule. For fats, it's the same. Some people can eat more fats and they can be super healthy. Other people can eat less fats. For example, Inuit or Native America from the north side of Canada can eat far more fat, because they developed in a place where there was no agriculture, and they have to eat only like whales, seals and stuff like that. No, very fat animal. They can do good with a lot of fat. But everyone is different. I think there are also other differences because of your body structure now, mesomorph and stuff. Someone can eat more carbs, or like perform his best eating more carbs, and someone perform his best eating a lot of fats with low carbs. Another genetic difference between us can be like the sodium tolerance. Some people retain more sodium than the other one. For example, African American and desert Arab and Korean people retain a lot more sodium than, for example, European. Why? Well, African American during the slavery was forced to work a lot during the day in hot places with very little water. They were treated very bad. And they have to like develop a resistance to dehydration. So it was like the survival of the fittest. Now only the people who was able to retain more sodium and more water was able to survive, and that leads to a forced evolution of that race. The same for desert Arab. Now if you want to survive in the desert, you have to retain as much water as possible. That's why, for example, they also, like African American, they tend to retain a lot more sodium. For Korean people, I don't really know why they retain so much sodium, but there is an evolutionary explanation of this for sure. Other people in the same time tend to have to suffer from high pressure from sodium intake because they have a gene mutation. Other people instead perform very good with sodium. As I say in my previous video about sodium can be an extremely good performance enhancer. Very, very good. Then we have, for example, the sensibility to estrogen and androgens. As I say in my testosterone replacement therapy video, some people are far more sensitive to androgens because they have more receptor on the cell, so they need like a lower amount of testosterone to function properly. Other people instead need more testosterone to function properly. That's why the reference range are useless, because they does not take in account the sensibility of people to this stuff. But also you can have a different sensitivity to estrogen. Some people with a certain gene mutation are far less sensitive to estrogen, and their body need a lot of estrogen to function properly, and they, for example, aromatize a lot to reach the proper level of estrogen. Aromatization is the process when testosterone through aromatase enzyme is converted into estrogen. So for example, his body converts to estrogen a lot, and these people usually had like gynecomastia during puberty because their body, to reach the proper estrogen level to function at its best, started to aromatize a lot. For example, me too. During my puberty for a couple of years I had very hard and sensitive nipples. It was all painful even to play football when I had to stop the ball with my chest. No, and the doctor were like, yeah, it's normal, who cares? This is why, for example, I am very tolerant to estrogen, and I can let my estrogen go through the roof with little problem. For example, when I was running testosterone all this cycle, even on 500 mg of testosterone and more, I didn't need any aromatase inhibitor, and I felt good. I was basically a boner with legs. Instead, if I take an aromatase inhibitor, I feel like shit immediately. Also, for example, I take drostanon. I feel really bad. For some people, masteron is like the best libido enhancer possible. For me, it's not. Masteron kills my libido because I am yet insensitive to estrogen, and masteron like bind to estrogen receptor, and it works like an anti-estrogenic drug, and that like kills my estrogen level or receptibility, and that's very bad. Another thing, for example, is metabolism. Now, another difference about why we work very differently. For example, there is a clan, a Native American clan, who, I don't remember the name, but this clan developed into the desert in the United States, and they have a basic metabolism very, very low. No? They can survive with like 700 calories a day. Why? Because in the desert there was no food. No, you can like grow vegetables. There is no agriculture in the desert. There aren't animals neither. No, there is very little things to eat. So they adapt to this, like lowering their metabolism. Also, this the survival of the fittest. Only the people who was able to survive with a less amount of food was able to survive, and they made children and stuff. And now these people have a very low metabolism, and this can lead to a lot of problems in the nowadays world, because they can find food everywhere in the markets, but if they start to eat like white people, and they start to eat a lot of food, they die prematurely. For example, that Native American clan is the group of people with the lowest life expectancy in the entire planet, that is 38 years old. If they eat like bread, pasta and something like that, they have all of a kind of cardiovascular disease. Welcome back. Well, my camera died because it has such a low battery life that you have to recharge it every 5 minutes basically. By the way, keep going on. We were speaking about this Native American clan. Well, since they started to eat like white people, eating a lot of food in the supermarket, maybe unhealthy food, they have a life expectancy of 38 years, and that's because of they develop in a place where there were no food. Then we also see that people age different from others. Someone starts to have like wrinkles at the early age. Wrinkles maybe are caused by a vasopressin deficiency, because there is it's because of dehydration. Vasopressin is an antidiuretic hormone. Some people start to have white hair before, some people start to have hair loss, and so forth and so on. And we see that we don't need that much time to like develop. Even if we see at dogs, in 500 years we created a lot of different races of dog. So evolution is not something that needs millions of years to change a species. Some little changes like this can, because in like not much years. By the way, so we have taken consideration everything when we speak about genetic. Every one of us is different. We listen to this every time, but we really don't have to believe everything about we see on the web about the best diet, but we have taken consideration our personal differences, and we can try this or try that, and this is the topic of the next video about how to fail and stuff, and how to try different stuff. Now I want to propose something to governments. It would be a good idea to make mandatory a complete map of the mandatory genetic test for every citizen, at least one in their life. So after this you have like the list of everything you can tolerate or not. We see that you're estrogen or androgen sensitive, if you retain sodium or not, if you can tolerate carbohydrates or not, if sodium causes you hypertension or not. So this can, a win-win relationship between the state and the citizens, because the citizens are healthier. They can have direct guidelines about how to eat and how to behave to be healthier in the state, while the state will have less queue in hospital, there will be less cost, no, to pay less money to sustain the healthcare, and stuff. So yeah, it will be really a good idea in my opinion, a genetic test. So you have maybe like a personal profile on the government website where you can see everything about this, with even like an algorithm to give you direction about how to eat, basing about your genes. I really hope this future will be reality. It will be super effective also to prevent disease. So you can see what is going to happen in your life if you maybe have a heart problem and stuff. By the way, I don't understand why they are not doing this now. Maybe Big Pharma just want to make big money, or who knows. By the way, for today is everything. See you next time.